Content warning, this is extreme racism here. A black woman was protesting for Palestine, and a bunch of frat boys and people made allusions to this imagery being very much like the counters in the civil rights movement.
We should have never let these guys use our flag. They should have to be using the Confederate flag to do this crap.
That's exactly the energy they bring to this. They make a bunch of racial kind of slurs towards her.
And, you know, keep that image up because it's important to see. When people talk about intersectionality, right, like, this is an amazing example of it because, you know, I had a theory about why you had people go from Obama to Trump in 2016. And I'm sure there were some who were like, you know, just a full-on have gone nihilist, or, you know, some who are like sort of, you know, in some way, you know, disillusioned by Obama. But people are like, how can you be racist if you go from Obama to Trump against a white woman in Hillary Clinton? Racists don't think I'm a racist, but I'm also a proud feminist.
Right.
People who are racist, broadly speaking, it's not that it's just about race in their mind. It's also about just the other. And in many instances, you know, people were saying like, we had one non-normal president. I'm not going to have two in a row. We're going to go back to the normal president. And if you look at the image of all these people there's one thing that's pretty striking. They're all men.
And they're all white.
They're all white men. And which is not to say that there's no women in that crowd. I'm sure there's some, maybe. But the vast majority of them are men. And it's no coincidence.
Let's play it. You know, you saw the guys jumping around, like making the monkey thing. I mean, there was all sorts of a ton of racist crap going on in there.
Some excited KinderClan kids.
Yep.
When you say the intersectionality point, like people will say, do those kids there, those, you know, young, fine men, even understand what Zionism is? And that's not necessarily the point, right? The point is that they reflexively are aligning themselves with Israel. And what's the point? Why is that the
funny
case?
part is like, you know, where's the video that goes in there and like mocks them for not understanding the finer points of Zionism?
Oh, I know. Right.
These guys have no idea.
They don't want to debate me.
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, the point is that like they're aligned because they are aligned with the oppressors.
Yep.
In one form or another. I mean, this is like, you know, this is a perfect example of all.
It's funny. Like, I had a pretty viral tweet go on. What is this, Bradley? Is this?
Well, we should point out that a Republican representative tweeted this out proudly.
A Republican, put this out.
Ole Miss taking care of business, and in the video, he does a frickin' monkey gesture towards that black woman. This is a Republican Freedom Caucus member bragging about this.
Yep. And is it also that Richard Hanania guy? Isn't he like
Nazi?
But wasn't he like for a while like sort of mainstreamed? You know,
he still is. Robbie Soav of the Hill keeps retweeting him. I don't know if what he's trying to tell us about that, but yeah, Hanania is a big time Nazi who apparently used to suck, and now he hopefully doesn't suck anymore. But I think he probably still sucks as much.
Is he putting this out there to expose Mike Collins or to amplify?
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. But this is the, you know, I don't know. There's so much that you can take from this. It's disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean, it can get caught up on Mississippi playing to type there, and I would look into some of those frats and maybe the history, particularly when you talk about systemic rape. You might want to look into that. But I also want to shout out the protesters actually that did that, because that I think it takes a lot of bravery to be in Columbia, to be in Mississippi, and knowing that guys like that are ready to trot out for the flag, and you point out that actually you're doing this for Israel. Like, no, I'm just doing it for the flag. You guys were flying the stars and bars 10 months ago or 10 years ago. Don't tell me about you care about America's flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently that kid, JP Staples, he first bragged about it on Twitter and then locked his account like a coward.
Good run.
Was kicked out of his fraternity, Phi Data Thelta. But
for closing down his Twitter account?
I mean, yeah. You were supposed to own it, bro. We'll see.
Well, he did own it, and then he ran.
Well, right, exactly. We'll see if Ole Miss
Running
acts,
rebels,
though.
That's what we call them.
Is the fraternity going to have more of a more of a backbone than the university? Because maybe take some action to protect your students, your black students there.
Are they going to cancel commencement to protect people there?
It's a very easy playbook, though. Anytime one of these frats turns our people out against these protests, look up their frat name in the local news and see how far back you have to go to find something horrible.
Oh, yeah. And I would not be shocked at all if there are some right-wing groups
about these Pi Kappa.
Are we going to see Alan Dershowitz out there with...
Oh, yeah. But if these right-wing groups are actually maybe reaching out to some fraternities and say, hey...
Ackman put up $10,000 on the GoFundMe.
Exactly. We'll fund your next kegger if you can go out there and make life miserable for these people. That's my working theory, and I think that's probably the probability.
I mean, it's one thing to be in frats anyway, and let alone you see the actual political valence of them.
Well, I was in a sorority, right? I mean, I know the exact kind of people that is. I mean, I was in a sorority in Pennsylvania, right? But the guys are still the same. It's just a bit of a different kind of, a little bit more brash down in Ole Miss than they would have been in Easton, Pennsylvania. But
we just care about the flag, okay, buddy.
Yep. Yeah.
I specifically, being the metrosexual that I am, I specifically looked for a college that did not have frats.
I mean, come on, asterisk, worst dress metrosexual.
I don't think that was necessary. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.